Hi there, my name is Jen Harrington, and I am going to talk about my mentor, which is Dr. Carol Grady. So I first met Dr. Grady when I was going through the nursing program at Dixie State College at the time, not yet a university, and I came across her in the building periodically. And actually, my very first one-on-one sit-down with her was when I was actually having a concern about a particular exam. And what I remember from that interaction was just how very honed her listening skills were. She listened to what I had to say as a student, as an undergraduate student, and also listened to what the instructor had to say. And I felt she was extremely fair in her decision that she made. And I was so impressed by her. I just thought, wow, I wish I had those type of skills. I'm going to try and learn from this experience and emulate that down the line. Little did I know at that time how close I would become with Dr. Grady, but that was my very, very first sit down with her. As time went on, I got my nursing degree, my RN, and then I went on and got my baccalaureate degree. Once in the baccalaureate program, Dr. Grady was my instructor in a class called Nursing Research. It was done over the summer, and it was probably one of my most challenging classes that I had up to that point. I had a lot of insecurity about the program. It's accelerated because it's over a summer semester, so things are a little bit shorter. And there was just a lot of scholarly research involved, and we had to construct a literature search, create a table, and some things I had not done before. All I can say about that summer was that she couldn't have been more encouraging and supportive throughout the process. At the same time, she certainly wasn't doing the work for me, but was supportive, was able to say, you're doing great, keep going. We learned about different types of research, things I had not done before. So it was very inspiring to learn from her, and I loved the way that she ran her classroom. So it was just a great experience. Much of this was online. The baccalaureate program is online, but since I had been familiar with the nursing building, I sometimes would come in to ask her questions in person. And she always had this open door policy, which was great. Long story short, I finished the baccalaureate program and actually graduated top of my class, student of the semester, magna cum laude, and I'm very proud of that. And I feel like the support I had from Dr. Grady really helped me get to that point. I went on to my clinical practice, and down the line I got offered an adjunct clinical position working with second semester nursing students, and I was so excited for the opportunity. So I said yes, of course. And I, after having that position, realized, wow, if I'm qualified to teach in this capacity, I wonder if there's other opportunities out there. And I looked online and saw that there was an opening for the director of the nursing assistant program, and I applied for it. Dr. Grady was one of the interviewers for the position, and I know there was some competition out there. I did ask for her support through that process to a degree, just so I wanted to present the best I could, and it was a great experience. I did end up getting the offer, and I was assigned Dr. Grady as my mentor. So that brings us to where we are right now. So I had been working clinically as a nurse. My only experience teaching was as a clinical adjunct instructor at the hospital, so it's not like you're in the environment of the classroom per se. I mean, you're at the hospital and then you come back and do a little debriefing, but it certainly wasn't what this position was going to be, where there are administrative tasks that need to be completed. Considering the department, there are people to supervise. In my department, I have 4 adjunct instructors that I supervise. So it was wonderful to have an assigned mentor that would guide me through a new language, a new way of practicing with my nursing degree. Because certainly when you go through nursing school, there's, for the undergraduate programs, which a baccalaureate degree is considered undergraduate, there's not a lot that you learn about curriculum development or evaluating other employees. There's just a whole different language and way to practice with my nursing degree that I had not I had not stretched those muscles before. I hadn't even known that I had those type of skills. And Dr. Grady was so great with me, met with me on a regular basis, let me know what I needed to work on, let me know what I was doing right, and I couldn't have made the transition as smoothly as I did without her support. I was nominated as Rising Star Teacher of the Year my first year in, and so that gave me a real sense of, okay, I'm doing something right. And again, without those regular meetings with my mentor, I wouldn't have felt that I could ever reach that level. So it's been wonderful. I really valued having a mentor. I actually wrote a paper for my graduate program. I'm working on my master's degree now, where I studied different scholarly research about the value to nurses of having a mentor in their life and how that affects job satisfaction overall. Because we do have a nursing faculty shortage, which directly relates to our nursing shortage, so we need more people making that transition from clinical practice to that of the academia world. And nurses are reluctant to do that because, one, they may not make as much money, but it's also very intimidating, to go from one sort of practice where you're dealing in clinical capacity with patients to now working with students. For me, I found it to be wonderful because I love learning and I love the academic environment. I've also had the best mentor anyone could possibly have, in my opinion. Dr. Grady has done everything in nursing and has successfully made this transition. She was the Dean of Health Sciences. She was the interim provost for Dixie State University. So I really had the golden ticket. And I knew that at any point I could go to Dr. Grady and ask her something, no matter how busy she was, and she would make time to explain things to me, make me feel comfortable about whatever challenge it was that I had ahead of me. So I really valued the relationship, and it continues today. So she currently has a new role with the University of Utah, but I have her number in my phone, I have her email. She still works with universities while she teaches. So I know that there's this open door policy, and if I reach out to her, she's there for me. And that I'm forever grateful. I need that support still today. I still feel like a newbie. I've got tons to learn. And she continues to support me and encourage me. And just this last commencement exercise, we spent a little time visiting, kind of reminiscing over where we are today and how far we've come in our mentorship relationship. And me as the mentee, she is the mentor. And I don't know exactly how this came about, but she said, I see great things for you. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you see for me? Because we had never talked about that exactly. She says, well, truthfully, I see you being dean one day. And I'm like, I had no idea that she ever had these thoughts, and I have never envisioned myself in that role. But she planted that seed in my brain. And of course, now I'm thinking, well, I mean, it means a lot to me that she would have that level of confidence in me, that she would think that I could aspire to that one day. So, of course, that would mean I do need to get my PhD and a whole lot more experience. But, I mean, who better to encourage you to reach that level than someone who has walked that path before you? So, Dr. Grady has been an incredible woman in my life, an incredible leader, an incredible mentor, and I'm proud to also call her friend. So I have had the best experience, and I'm just excited for the future. I love being with Dixie State University, and I'm glad that our paths crossed in the way that they did.